Alright folks, I am super serious this time, in the great words of Eric Cartman. This is going to be our final episode of Kentucky Route Zero Act 3. We're going to keep going until we get this baby done. And we are currently underneath the church, somehow underground, following one of the strangers into a subterranean complex of some kind. I have to ask you to stop in here a moment. This is just for your safety, and adjust your outfits just a bit. There's some protective headwear up on the back there. Please remove your shoes and eyeglasses. We don't wear glasses, so that won't be an issue. Well, do us a favor and put on the headwear anyway. Just this way. What is happening down here with crazy glowing people? From the 35th century. Oh, look. It's like you lose a signal when you do that. That's weird. Earl? More new arrivals this evening. Plenty to do. Got to relay the formula. What formula? The formula. Changed our lives. Once, years ago, we were as prisoners to the intricacies of our debts here. You have to account for everything on paper. Compounding interest in my hand, reassessing amortization and leveraged asset distributions according to nightly merit decay. Then she stepped out of the dark caves to show us the light of the formula. She had a brilliant grasp of mathematics and a saint-like way of speaking right through the numbers. Now we just plug our daily numbers into the formula and run it all through the adding machine. We occasionally suffer some surplus drift, but she instructed us all on unnecessary adjustments. It was devastating to see our revered mathematician go, but she was needed elsewhere. Her legacy abides. What job are they working? I don't know what it's been settled just yet. You see, sometimes we take on newcomers already in debt to the distillery. One of the foremen will find something for them to do, chip away at their sum until it's all settled. That's what I'm here doing, chipping away. That's what we're all doing. So these are people who have debt to the distillery? Wow, check this stuff out. It must be decades old. It's in perfect condition. You really like old electronics. Yeah, I've got it bad. That's why I got into this business, to keep old stuff that's running. Seemed like such a shame to let it all just fall into ruin, you know, like that computer back in the cave, Xanadu. Decades of engineering, thousands of years of mathematics and philosophy, all petrified into living stone. How could you just let that fall apart? Continue down, I guess. To these weird carts. Take a shuttle. Here's the fleet. Haha. Oh, we just use these to get around internally. How big is this place? Oh, it's grown a great deal over the years. Incredible to think, really. When Mr. Bishop founded this operation, it was only about 1,800 square feet, and half of that or more was occupied by camouflage to keep the law out. Hiding out in the back of an old church purifying spirits by handmade fire, a kettle, and a dream. So the trucks are just east a ways and shipping. You can become acquainted with the dispatcher there. Give me a tap on the shoulder if you see something that catches your eye. Always happy to show off the facilities. Sublime machinery. Can I talk to this guy? No? Okay, we'll get in the truck. Let's hop in, guys. What? I can totally drive a car. This is awesome. We drive down to shipping. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm intrigued by this crazy place. There's some bunks in here. Thought you'd like to see the accommodations. We supply what bedding we can according to the formula. How many people work here? Oh, about 30, 40, something like that. Some of us count for more than others. Myself, I'm focused. Well, shouldn't I be? I've got this figure to pay down. The longer I sleep, the more interest accrues. It's a sin to sleep your freedom away like that. Of course, as a delivery driver, you'd be able to come and go a little. You're timed pretty closely, but you can still roll the window down. Maybe glimpse a familiar silhouette on the side of the road as you pass. I don't know what any of this means. It's very creepy, though. A ghosty facility? This... There ain't no doubt about it. It just keeps getting weirder. The mess hall. The cafeteria, eh? It may not be a draw on its own, but the food is certainly passable. Most of us never leave the premises anyway. Why not? Well, we strive to avoid unnecessary downtime. Besides, if we were all coming and going 3 times a day, we'd surely attract the wrong kind of attention. You can't tax what you can't see now. I didn't realize he was wearing... He's got like a scarf on or something. Something's waving along his body. I don't know why Conway's just accepting all of this and hasn't gone completely insane. Because I would. I'm practically going insane just experiencing it all. Well, to make a bourbon, you'll need some water, won't you? Here's where it all comes in. The mundanity of it. Ha! Quite an impressive chorus when they all get going like this, though. What river is this? It's an artery of the Echo River. The Echo River is fed from Lake Lathe, but you wouldn't recognize a drop of it. Lathe is cold, dark, and so very deep, and still. Rumors of Lake Lathe's supernatural properties are, I'd say, just a bit exaggerated, but I wouldn't fish on it. This is a nice little tour we're getting here. There's all kinds of crazy mechanics in this episode. Between the constructing a song and putting this together. Grist mill. The mill. It's an antique. Perfectly functional. We recuperated it from a site upriver decades ago. Keeps us honest in our old world charm, if you follow. We do as much upkeep as the formula allows. The water wheel is 20 feet up. Gives us more clearance for a big hopper. When we pulled it out of the water at the old site, the wheel just kept spinning and it hasn't stopped yet. Guess it didn't need the river to turn it after all. That is quite odd to have a water wheel without water spinning in the air. I guess if you had a... maybe it's like a windmill. It's clean energy. A lumber yard. It's a lot of coffins. Is that what that is? Is that all coffins? There it is. Or it's a cask. Okay. We build every cask by hand, right here. It's tradition. But I like to think our application of hands and hammers to the oak gives our stuff a kind of life. Well, that's what I like to think. They look like coffins. That's a tradition too, I suppose, and I'm sure it helps avert suspicion the satellite catches us burying them upstairs. Or are they actually coffins? Is Soylent Green people? They could be. Is there anywhere else to go? Doesn't appear as though there's much to see. Here's the charring yard. Vent's pretty well considering. This smell, this is why they call bourbon a comfort food. Those are empty, right? What? Oh, of course. We don't really exhume them anymore. We tapped that source years ago. Where am I going again? I feel like I'm lost in this giant place. So this is the mill. Is there anywhere to go up here? Shipping. This is where we wanted to end up anyway. This looks like my truck. Nope, I didn't mean to do that. Damn it. Damn it. Just extending this as long as I can, aren't I? Here it is. Now I have to ask, as a matter of course, what kind of experience do you have driving trucks? I drove deliveries for an antique shop up until this last run. Aha, precious cargo. You'll do just fine. And you can drive safely, can't you? I haven't any doubt now. It's only after what happened with Miguel this evening. What happened with Miguel this evening? Well, the dust is still clearing, of course. Perhaps he closed his eyes at a moment, or simply hit a curb too devilish. I do pity ill-fated Miguel. He was good company and slow to anger. But if we're speaking confidentially, well, with all that lost product to be repaid, bourbon and glass stashed across the interstate, and a few casks too, we're all just thankful he had no next of kin. So, let's see if we can ring up the dispatcher. Doodle starts the truck and switches on the CB radio. A deep, monotonous voice drones from the dashboard speaker. 10 to 20 on that low, come back. Up in the Hummingbird Cave, 10-12. City Kitty. This is a good time, dispatch. We may have found Miguel's replacement. Thought you might like to get acquainted. 10-9, come again. Introduce yourself. Pleased to, tell dispatch something impressive about yourself. They're very well regarded here. You folks know anything about a moldy old computer? 99 wheel holder? Gotta pay the water bill. Ah, so. I'm certain they'll call back before long. Let's take a look around the truck, eh? Looks like it's just about ready to go out. We have some good, strong folks in shipping here, so you never need to worry about loading it if you don't want to. Bit hard on the knees and back at our age, eh? Of course, you'll have to unload at the destination, but that's the job, and some drivers like the extra shift stacking and loading here. I shouldn't really do any lifting these days. I see. Well, surely we could spare a dolly and carrying strap for your health and security. Conway woke up on baled hay. Everything was too bright. His head hurt, the usual. Lisette and Ira argued loudly just outside the open barn door. She wanted Ira to take him inside and shower, have some coffee, get to the job. Ira said there wasn't time. Conway was in no condition. It was just a job. It was an important job, rather. They couldn't put it off. Ira said to let the deadbeats sleep it off and then send him packing. He said Charlie could do the job. Conway stepped out of the barn, shielding his eyes. He tried to say something reassuring, but just sort of stumbled around it. Lisette looked away. Ira just spat and went inside to wake Charlie. Ira was a stubborn man, so Charlie went along and Conway drifted out again. He didn't hear about the accident until months later. So, what's next? Control the wipers with this knob here. They seem to have a decent torque to them. Can't say how they'd fare in an ice storm. We must never delay a shipment. Better to assume the risk. You folks watch the weather closely? I wouldn't know it if I saw it. Too many years of climate control. Have I mentioned I rarely, if ever, leave our facility? I would know the rain if it drowned me. I'm sure the wipers are fine. Of course. What else then? Headlights work fine, see? Doolittle fiddles with the controls. That's important. Most of our product goes out at night. You never know who you'll run into in the daylight. Dusk can be treacherously misleading with all that indirect light. The magic hour, eh? Drivers sleep in the day then? Sure, those that sleep. Miguel pulled an extra day shifts when he could. Sometimes he'd help me, sometimes over in bottling. He shouldn't have been out driving at dusk. Weird shadows, soft lights, dangerous. Conway had to get off the highway. Too loud, too murky. He turned off into some gray cornfield in Indiana. Empties rattled under the passenger seat. He kept them over there so the smell wouldn't spread. That window was always open a crack. He had to pull over. He couldn't night drive in his condition. It wouldn't have been responsible. He was only human. He'd been out since the headlights were on. Didn't even stop for coffee. He cracked a beer at 3, eyes on the road. 4:30, he dodged some stray cattle. The headlights were coming back on. Rockford could wait. Early morning couldn't be much worse than late night. What could they care? He needed just a few hours. So, moving on. Tires. Oh, sure. I know you want to look. Kick the tires. That's a thing we do, isn't it? As though our knees could exert the kind of force these tires see out there on the road. We're more likely to hurt ourselves, isn't it that way? Eh? Sure, they're big machines, but they can be fragile. Absolutely. Truck deserves care and fearful respect, like a glass elephant. Miguel was a good driver, but he didn't have that quality of deference. Conway sat in a dim room full of folding chairs. The walls and ceiling were painted with old smoke. Someone read from the book. He drank coffee, as it is. He was just waiting for it to be over. A few others shared. They spoke in abstractions like a program of action, a good orderly direction, spiritual but not religious, religious but not spiritual, all the things we tried. Then it was over. He clasped sweaty hands through a short prayer and stepped back out into morning. He knew it was time to hit the bar. It was good to get out of the heat, away from the mendacity. He settled into it. Someone else from the meeting was here, looking rough. He started a conversation. She was on a bender, a week and counting. She'd arrived at the meeting drunk and sat in the back because she didn't believe in it. She read a lot of French books and didn't believe in anything but the benign indifference of the universe. It was comforting in its way. She didn't have to prefer one thought or day over any other. All she had to do was drink and stay indifferent. Now what else can we show you? The truck's radio crackles back to life. Driver, come back. Ah, there's the dispatch. Now, tell them your experience. Tell them the truck's in good shape. Tell them you'll start in the morning. I really can't. Yeah, we've got to finish this delivery in a few. Got 2 black guys and a flock of crocodiles. Come back. 10-4, back it down and prick the eyelids. Driver. Back. Come back, Len. 10-4. Come back, wheel holder. 10-4. Got your ears on? Good. Listen to this. Silence. So, I think that went well. Let's head back up to logistics and seal the deal, eh? And I've got one more thing to show you. So it seems like Conway must have had something to do with Charlie's death? I'm thinking. Because that seemed like he was like going to a AA meeting of some kind. Perhaps as a direct result of the death. Let's head back upstairs, eh? I have one more thing to show you. Wait, we only came here looking for some answers about this stupid moldy computer. Oh, the old man in the cave with the moldy computer. That black mold, it's drawn to whiskey. It feeds on ethanol fumes, you see. As we age the whiskey, some of it inevitably evaporates into the air. The angels share. It goes through the vents here and out into the caves. If we can scrape up that mold, we can usually apply some pressure and cold to it, squeeze and condense the angels share back into drinkable whiskey. Every drop counts when you're making a living on the stuff. So we'd go down and scrape it off his equipment, just like any other place it grows. He kept sending his people here to drive us away. Paranoid. Truly paranoid. Well, now we have the formula, so we don't need to go collecting mold. But we didn't do anything to his moldy computer, he just forgot the password. One of assistants shared it with me. Dome in air. That'll get you going, I'm sure of it. So, join me upstairs. So that's how they got the password. I don't know if I want to join him upstairs, though. Are we going this far upstairs? If you don't mind. I guess we're taking our hats off. Hats off to you, Doolittle. You creepy skeleton bastard. Here it is. A beauty, wouldn't you say? It's an antique, you know. What is it? Why, it's an adding machine. This is where we come for our daily ritual, to calculate the day's interest and repayment according to the formula. I usually do so at the beginning of my shift, so I know how many hours I need in order to keep up. Yes, I believe you'll do well here, sir. Happy to have you. Congratulations, you're hired. Wait, we can't... It's customary here to start each day with a shift drink. Let's make it special. Mark the occasion. This is the top shelf stuff now. Single barrel. He doesn't... Down the hatch. Vina memoire morse. But I don't want Conway to drink. Decent enough. Welcome aboard. He's not working for you. You have to get back to this art. He has a delivery to make. What's this? Not working? Are you turning down this opportunity? She's right. I have to make this, I'm disappointed. I'm afraid that leaves us with a delicate problem. As I indicated, this is the top shelf stuff you're drinking now. It isn't cheap. If it's not your first shift drink, well, and there's the matter of this tour just now. My time and experience are billed at quite a premium. This is not good for you, my friend. You're in quite deep. By my back of the envelope estimations, well, we have that in common, I suppose, all of us. Yes, I'm afraid you'll have to work this off somehow. It's just the way of it. What's happening right now? You can start tomorrow. Take the time to settle your affairs. Of course, the interest begins to compound immediately, and, well, we'll go over the formula when you get here. I should get back to work. See you tomorrow, then. Oh, great, I'm in debt to a creepy distillery. This ain't good. This ain't good. So, I guess I start in the morning. I guess. I'm confused. It's just the way these things go, kid. Huh. Well, that still gives us a few hours to roam, right? Where's that ferry? Ain't that a nice-looking bunch? I'm guessing this is the ferry. Yes, it is. Oh, dear God. That's a mastodon. What? Oh, God. I wasn't expecting the mastodon, I have to say. And that, my friends, is the end of Act 3. Many rounds of applause, I think. Am I right? That went on for a really long time. It was a really good episode. I do think the middle kind of suffered a little bit, but the ending was really cool. I liked taking the tour of the distillery, and I really liked the song at the beginning, and everything is starting to come together and make a little bit more sense now, but I have not heard when we can expect Act 4, much less Act 5. I'm hoping that I can't even talk. Not only can I not read, I can't talk. I'm hoping that we get it before the end of this year, so that way we can finish up this game sometime in 2015, but they're welcome to take their time with this one because it's very enjoyable. So I hope you guys had fun playing Act 3 with me, experiencing it for the first time. I really enjoy this game, and I really enjoy doing these for you. So come back next time if you can. We'll be doing some other Let's Plays, maybe for some other games soon, as we await the final 2 chapters of Kentucky Route Zero. Until next time, a Bill, a Murray.